Hey citizens, thanks for stopping by. For today's video, let's take a close and personal of this 2019 pre-facelift Ford Everest. I know, this is not the Everest, this is the Ford Ranger Wildtrak 4x2. And this is not going to be the topic of this video, but the only topic of this video is the Ford Everest. There are 5 trims available for the Philippine market. It is a pre-facelift at that time. And one right here that I'm going to review is the 2.2 Ambiente 4x2 mated to a 6-speed manual gearbox. For this video, I'll take this Everest for a full walk-around review, showing you the most interesting features from the interior as well as the exterior. So what are you waiting for? Let's sit back, relax, and enjoy of this review. The Ford Everest is powered by Ford's ZSD 422 Duratorq 2.2 liter, dual overhead cams, 16-valve, and a turbocharged 4-cylinder diesel engine with common rail direct injection and Ford's TDCI technology. It produces 158 horsepower at 3200 RPM and 385 Nm of torque at 1600 to 2500 RPM. 80 liters is the fuel tank size of this Everest with the emission standard of Euro 4. This engine can be mated either to a manual or an automatic gearbox having the same 6-speed units. Since this SUV has a 4x2 layout, the drivetrain of the Everest Ambiente is a rear-wheel drive vehicle. Ford's 7-seater midsize SUV was named after the world's highest mountain located in Nepal. It was appeared in 2003, sharing the same platform of the Ford Ranger, which in turn derives on the Mazda B series. Actually, the previous design of the Everest looks like an AUV. Are you familiar with the Isuzu Crosswind? Yes, I know, it has similarities of the two in terms of structure and design. Might as well, the Ford Everest doesn't seem to be likable than any other SUVs was sold in the market. I mean, honestly speaking, it is not a good car that you look at it even it is an SUV. Thankfully, when the third generation was launched in March 2015 for the 2016 model year, the Ford Everest gives a massive changes from inside and out. This time around, it was based on the Ranger T6 with a similar design, structures, and features. Surprisingly, the Everest looks like a true and legitimate SUV than the previous model year. It has a mixture of a bold, strong, and muscular image, getting rid of a boxy design like an AUV that looks hideous. Whether you're choosing the base trim or the topping range model variant, this SUV has plenty of advancements and technology that will be suited on a regular basis. This is a budgeted SUV from Ford. If you found out that the Expedition and the Explorer are too much expensive for you, then the Everest is an SUV that will fit on your budget and the car of your choice. You know what is the best? The refreshed Ford Everest was firstly launched in 2018 for the 2019 or 2020 model year, with minor upgrades like a new front end, smart key access system, and push-button start comes as standard, a new 2-liter bi-turbo diesel engine, and more. The Ford Everest was better known as the Ford Endeavour for the Indian market. The pre-facelift Ford Everest was launched in the Philippines way back May 2015, while the facelift version was launched way back August 2019. For the pre-facelift, 5 trims have offered: 2.2 Ambiente 4x2 manual, 2.2 Ambiente 4x2 automatic, 2.2 Trent 4x2 automatic, 2.2 Titanium 4x2 automatic, and the topping range 3.2 Titanium 4x4 automatic. As the refreshed model comes, both Ambiente manual and automatic and Trent automatic have dropped off the line, and only left is the Titanium, offered both 2-liter single turbo and bi-turbo diesel engine having the drivetrain of 4x2 and 4x4 layout. Exterior features for the Ambiente 4x2 Everest are manual leveling halogen headlights on a reflector lens, front and rear fog lights, silver painted front grille, intermittent wipers front and rear mudguards, indicators on the front fenders, body colored side mirrors and door handles, roof rails, side step boards, rear incandescent taillights, silver painted rear plate garnish, rear windshield defrosting, rear spoiler with high mount stop light, and roof mounted antenna. In terms of safety, the Everest Ambiente 4x2 gets 2 airbags, anti-lock braking system with electronic brake force distribution, electronic stability program, hill start assist, trailer sway assist, emergency brake light, ELR seatbelts in all rows, front seatbelt reminder, child-proof door locks, isofix child seats and tether anchors for the rear seats, and a Ford's volumetric Bulgar alarm system. The Ambiente 4x2 Everest gets a set of 17-inch 6-spoke alloys that are covered in 265/65 all-season tires. Brakes are ventilated discs in front and leading and trailing drums at the back. For the suspension, the front gets independent double wishbones with coilover shock absorbers and leaf springs for the rear. Approach, departure, and breakover angle for the Everest measures 30 degrees, 25 degrees, and 21 degrees respectively. Ground clearance measurement of the Everest is 225 millimeters. We do have speaker, storage, and a bottle holder. Window controls. All 4 windows on this car are fully powered, while the driver's side window gets a fully automatic function in both directions. You do have window lock. Right next to your interior door handle, got your central locking buttons. Also, you have a tweeter right above. Mirror controls, headlight switch, the button to turn off or on your front and rear fog lights, brightness adjuster. This lever right here pops up your bonnet, and the driver's seat of this Ford Everest gets a fully manual adjustments. Got your seat back, height, a sliding position control, and also you have a lumbar support which is controlled manually. You have the same set of adjustments as found on the driver's side. However, it loses out on the height adjustment and a lumbar support. The pre-facelift Ford Everest Ambiente 4x2 gets a rack and pinion power steering system with electric assistance. This steering wheel was made up in polyurethane material with sport grips at 10 and 2 and multifunction controls found in each 2 spokes. This steering wheel is a 4-spoke design. The 2.2 turbo diesel Everest Ambiente comes with a 6-speed manual gearbox. To put this car into reverse, pull the catch up, then put the gear lever to the left and forward. Center armrest, and underneath you have a decent sized storage area with a removable tray, little tray right here. 2 cup holders, hand operated parking brake, little storage, a button to turn off or on your traction control or your vehicle stability assist or electronic stability program, storage, USB and auxiliary inputs, got your two 12-volt power outlets, got your central locking button for the rear, a button to turn off or on your rear air conditioning system, or sorry, rear climate control system, your fan speed controls for the rear climate control, got your standard climate control system, temperature to the right, fan speed to the left, a button to turn off or on your climate control system, front defrost, rear defrost, different modes, recirculation, air conditioning, CD player, play and pause, eject button, hazard switch. The Everest Ambiente comes with a Ford Sync head unit with 4-inch colored TFT screen display, various media connectivity options, and 8 speakers for the sound system. It is a very simple head unit to use. Volume knob together with your power button, your tuning knob to the right, your 4 different submenus, your up, down, left, right, and your OK button, seek track button, and at the same time your on hook and off hook buttons for your telephone menu, CD, music, radio mute, media, time button, phone, and your menu. Your Bluetooth telephone keypads, and at the same time you can use it as your preset stations for your FM AM menus. Right above is your storage. Wiper controls to the right, and your indicator controls to the left. On the steering wheel, the left spoke houses your up, down, left, right, and your OK button that corresponds you to control the multi-information display right within the instrument gauge. While on the right spoke, you have your up, down, left, right, and your OK button that is the same set of controls as found on the left spoke of the steering wheel. This time around, it corresponds you to control the infotainment display. Down below is your volume controls, voice recognition system, mute button, seek track buttons that doubles up as your on hook and off hook buttons for your Bluetooth telephone menu. The steering wheel of this SUV gets a fully manual tilt only, adjusting using this lever right here. Grip handle on the A-pillar for the driver's side that helps you to support while getting in and out of this SUV. You also have a grip handle on the ceiling for the driver's side. The driver's side does get a sun visor, sunglass holder, interior lights right above, and a manual dimming rear view mirror. The front passenger side does get a sun visor with a vanity mirror, grip handles on the ceiling for the driver's side, front passenger side, as well as located at the A-pillar that provides you easy entrance and exit. And right next to your interior door handle, you got your central locking button. Quite decent amount of size glove box with a little storage slot right here. speaker down there, little storage, more storage right here. You got your bottle holder or cup holder depending what you use it for. Window control. Right next to your interior door handle, you've got your central locking button. To gain access to the last row, use this lever right here, pull it. And then you can access on the last row seat of the Ford Everest. For the meantime, let's go on to the middle row seat of the Ford Everest. And also, the seat back for the middle row do fold 60-40 split. Use this lever right here, pull it. And the rear seat back, the middle row seat back folds down. All right. I do set the driver's seat in a position that I feel comfortable in. I'm about 5'9", which is about 1.7 meters tall, and I do have the room to stretch out my feet underneath of the driver's seat. As for leg room, I have slightly more than this, while I have this much in terms of headroom. Well, the middle row seat of the Ford Everest is quite decent in terms of space, as you can see, and also the comfortness, it's really nice because it's padded in a cloth fabric seats, and also it is slightly bolstered, as you can see. It gives you a cushion, and overall it is not bad at all on the typical SUV with this kind of seat, which is really comfortable and very spacious. Speaking of space, there's a bar down here to slide forward and backward the middle row seat of the Ford Everest to occupy more space on the last row seat. So let's put this on the furthest back position. There you go. You do have storage pockets in the front seat backs. Fan speed control for the rear air conditioning. 12-volt power outlet. You do have a grip handle located at the B pillar for both sides that helps you to support while getting in and out of the car, because this SUV is pretty tall enough. And you do have a grip handles on the ceiling for both sides with a hook. Interior light right above. It is an LED light that is equipped on this SUV. You also have 2 air vents in the middle row. And this car has a center armrest. Now let's go on the last row seat of the Ford Everest. The middle row seat of the Ford Everest set in a furthest back position, and as what I've mentioned before, I'm about 5'9", which is about 1.7 meters tall. Still, I do have the room to stretch out my feet underneath the driver's seat. As you can see, I have no space in terms of leg room, but in terms of headroom, I have this much. Actually, on a typical adult size, just like my height, 5'9", 5'8", or 5'7", this is not suitable for average size adults, but a small individual and a small children will fit into the back seat, or the last row seat rather, of the Ford Everest. But you can move the middle row seat forward a little bit to increase more space at the last row. On this side, you do have cup holder. The same goes to the other side, as well as your hook right here. As well as on the top. And on the last row, you do have a light as well. They are powered in LED. Also, you do have a air vents at the back on the last row seat. On the egress and egress of this car, it's really difficult in terms of this quite narrow space in order to access at the back. You do have adjustable headrest in all 3 rows of the seats. The doors open quite wide at a 90-degree angle that provides you easy entrance and exit. To open up the rear hatch, go towards the hatch itself and locate the touchpad right underneath at the number plate. Cargo space of the Everest measures 450 liters when the second and third row seats are upright. Fold the third row seats and creating a massive 1050 liters of space, and fold the second row creating a gigantic 2000 liters of space. A 12-volt power outlet is located on the left side, a light that illuminates the area located on the right side, and underneath at the boot floor is some storage together with the vehicle's toolkit and jack. A spare tire is mounted underneath at the rear. Well guys, I hope you enjoy of this full walk-around review of the 2019 Ford Everest pre-facelift. It is a 2.2 Ambiente 4x2 mated to a 6-speed manual gearbox. If you like this video, make sure you hit thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, if you're subscribed to my channel, please hit the notification bell button to get notified for my latest update. As always, I'll see you next time for more latest videos on YouTube. Thanks for watching.